Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and always go beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee. The co-host is here. Raina, you want to take your place? No? Shy tonight? I know she'll do it for a treat. There you go. Go get your treat, baby. She's just going to reach up and look at her. She's been a little stubborn today, so I'm kind of not surprised. But anyway, let's see how things go. Anyway, I'm here to do a book review, and this is on my book of the month for August 2024, and that book was First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. This was actually a book of the month selection for January 2024. However, since I didn't really care to order any of the actual books for this month, Book of the Month allowed me to choose from several member picks. So these are, pretty well rated books from members from previous months, and I was able to use my credit for this book. So you can carry your credit over with Book of the Month as well. So that might have been another option if I weren't interested in, something that they had available for that month. So I picked this, and I am actually glad that I did. But before I get on with the review, let's talk a little bit about the author, Ashley Elston. She was actually a wedding photographer before she turned to writing. And although this is her first adult novel, she has 6 young adult novels that have been published. And needless to say, she's a debut author for Book of the Month. It's her first book. And now the genres with this book would be contemporary fiction, mystery, thriller, and suspense. So this book mostly takes place in Louisiana, and that's where the author is from. The main character is a young woman in her 20s or 30s who has a very interesting and unusual job. She basically gathers dirt and information on people, or cleans up dirt from people, or plants dirt on people at the request of a mysterious boss. She knows this boss only as Mr. Smith, and at the beginning of each job, she's given a new identity and location where she is to report in. So she's then given a name and basic info on a target. And also she gets to know some specifics, although not very much, about the assignment and what it is that she needs to do. So as the story begins, she has just begun working on a new target, and his name is Ryan Sumner. He's about the same age as our main character, who is under the identity of Evie Porter. They are dating, which was part of the plan all along, and she is gathering some information about him. So as the story unfolds, we go back in time at intervals. First one is maybe about 4 years, and the last one is just maybe a couple of months up to the present day. So we go back in time, and when we do, we see some of the identities that Evie Porter has held. And now the reason that we need to know some of this as readers is that Evie is actually planning a big coup against her boss. People from her previous jobs become important as Evie goes forward with her own plan while still keeping an eye on Ryan. And Evie's not alone in her endeavor. We learn that she has a work friend, or I guess some may call him a work husband or a best friend at work, who's kind of helping her. She also, though, does have some competition. Her boss, Mr. Smith, is not adverse to pitting his employees against each other in a competitive way to see who emerges as the best. Her boss does not hesitate to throw in curveballs when he can see how his employees perform. Evie has, in the past, irritated this boss as well by doing things her way, but in the end, she always gets results. And Evie's learning that murder is also not off the table. Mr. Smith will eliminate people who know too much so he can stay protected. And also with Ryan now being the target, Evie, of course, wonders why he's a target and starts to uncover some facts about him that show that he may not be exactly who he says he is. So I'm going to leave it there. I will say it is a complex plot. This is not one to read when you're tired and falling asleep. You need to stay sharp with this one so you can follow all the twists and turns. It's, I would call it a smart thriller. It moves quickly. And again, you really have to pay attention to the flashback sequences so you can get an understanding of what Evie is really capable of as well, and who may owe her favors and who may be looking for some payback. So this book got 4 stars on Goodreads, 4.5 on Amazon, and I'm going to give it a 4.25. So I'll just split the difference right there. It's a 4 to a 4.5, and I definitely would consider reading another book by this author in the future. So that's First Lie Wins. So what else do I have going on? Well, once I finished this, I started Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. And I chose to read this at this particular time because I'm going to a virtual author talk on Wednesday about this book. It's sponsored by my local library. And when I read a little about the book, I became very interested in it and decided to at least start it by the time of the talk had rolled around. So I'm right on schedule for that. So that's good. The basic story is about an octopus, and his name is Marcellus. Marcellus lives in an aquarium in Seattle, and he forms a bond with an older woman who does janitorial work at night in the aquarium. So we get short chapters that are told from Marcellus's point of view, and it's really enjoyable and fun. So far, I love it. And I've not read that much, but what I've read, has been I think you can see my bookmark there. I haven't read that much. What I read has been very good. So what I'd like to do is read the first chapter, and you can see what you think about it. It's very short. It's only a page, actually. So it starts out on the top and it says, Day 1299 of my captivity. Darkness suits me. Each evening, I await the click of the overhead lights, leaving only the glow from the main tank. Not perfect, but close enough. Almost darkness, like the middle bottom of the sea. I lived there before I was captured and imprisoned. I cannot remember, yet I can still taste the untamed currents of the open, cold water. Darkness runs through my blood. Who am I, you ask? My name is Marcellus. But most humans do not call me that. Typically, they call me that guy. For example, look at that guy. There he is. You can just see his tentacles behind the rock. I am a giant Pacific octopus. I know this from the plaque on the wall beside my enclosure. I know what you are thinking. Yes, I can read. I can do many things you would not expect. The plaque states other facts, my size, preferred diet, and where I might live were I not a prisoner here. It mentions my intellectual prowess and penchant for cleverness, which for some reason seems a surprise to humans. Octopuses are remarkably bright creatures, it says. It warns the humans of my camouflage, tells them to take extra care in looking for me in case I have disguised myself to match the sand. The plaque does not state that I am named Marcellus, but the human called Terry, the one who runs this aquarium, sometimes shares this with the visitors who gather near my tank. See him back there? His name's Marcellus. He's a special guy. A special guy indeed. Terry's small daughter chose my name, Marcellus McSquiddles, in full. Yes, it is a preposterous name. It leads many humans to assume I am a squid, which is an insult of the worst sort. How shall you refer to me, you ask? Well, that is up to you. Perhaps you will default to calling me that guy, like the rest of them. I hope not, but I will not hold it against you. You are only human, after all. I must advise you that our time together may be brief. The plaque states one additional piece of information. The average lifespan of a giant Pacific octopus? 4 years. My lifespan? 4 years. 1,460 days. I was brought here as a juvenile. I shall die here in this tank. At the very most, 160 days remain until my sentence is complete. So I thought that was a great first chapter. Really made me want to read more, find out more about Marcellus, find out more about this woman who befriends him. And yeah, I think I'm going to have a great time with this book and really enjoy the author talk as well. So yeah, that is what I'm up to. And not only that, but now I also have a name for the octopus that my sister crocheted for me. Some of you might have noticed this on my bookshelf at one point or another. And I had never, I mean, I love him. He's adorable, but I had never given him a name. And so now his name's Marcellus. And I don't know, maybe that's what Raina is pouting about. Maybe she's jealous. I don't know. Come on, Raina. You can do it. Come on. Show everybody a pretty face. Come on, baby. Good girl. I knew she could do it. Sit. 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 Are you sitting? Didn't see you sit. Sit, baby. Sit on the bed. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Anyway, yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, subscribing. Thanks for joining me. Have a great evening.